LDBC. This is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Boxing and MMA Show Live. Okay, folks, I'm going to take the time to really sit back and talk to you guys about the Cris Cyborg Wall of Destruction. I call this masterpiece the Wall of Destruction. And, you know, it's starting to catch. And a lot of people are talking about the Cris Cyborg Wall of Destruction. I've even heard other channels actually talk about the Cris Cyborg Wall of Destruction. Okay? This Wall of Destruction really and honestly is no laughing matter, okay? This Wall of Destruction basically shows you a lot of ass whoopings on this wall. Folks, that's just the way that is. That's as honestly as I can explain this. There are a lot of ass whoopings on this wall that's created by one woman and one woman only. That's Cris Cyborg. You see, Cris Cyborg, you know, I just really started looking at a lot of her history. And this woman can submit people. This woman knows how to do submissions and end the fight early. She knows. Very skilled at it. This woman chooses not to submit people. Cris Cyborg enjoys the beating of an opponent. Now, she'll be nice to him after the fight's over. But when that cage is closed, you better believe that this woman is looking to add to this list of destruction, this wall of destruction. This is not a laughing matter. Okay? If you fight Cyborg, more than likely, you will be on this wall. It's just a matter of time. And you have a lot of fighters that what they're doing is they're delaying the inevitable. Folks, they are delaying the inevitable. They know that their time is going to come. And when that time comes, Coach Shelton Harrison is going to put their photographs on the Cris Cyborg Wall of Destruction. Look at this list of women on this list. I mean, look at this page. Look at this. Nobody's happy. There's pain. There's anguish. There's stress. There's depression. All of these things are on the wall of destruction. I mean, guys, picture. You train your butt off for 8, 12 weeks. You train. To get into the octagon and completely get dismantled and destroyed by this one-woman wrecking machine. People, the wall of destruction is real. And there are fighters, they are generally afraid of Cris Cyborg. I'm not talking about they're afraid of losing. They are legitimately afraid of Cris Cyborg. And every woman on this wall, whether they want to admit it or not, whether they will admit it or not, when they stepped into that octagon, they realize, I don't know what I just got myself into. I don't know. And Marloes Coenen, she did it twice. She did it twice. And the second time, Marloes Coenen knew she didn't want this fight anymore. She didn't want to fight Cris Cyborg a third time. There's no way. And I don't think that Marloes Coenen will want to ever fight Cyborg again. And even though she's ranked high in the featherweight division, I don't think Marloes will take that fight. Can you blame her? Ibragimova. I mean, she had a lot of confidence into the fight. Cyborg beat her so badly, she closed one of her eyes shut. Leslie Smith, in a deep, deep, deep depression after the beating that she took from Cyborg. She retired Gina Carano. When she fought Jan Kotos-Finney, I thought Jan Kotos-Finney's ass was dead. Literally, because Cyborg hit her that hard and knocked Jan Kotos clean out. Knocked her out. I'm trying to tell y'all, these women, they are afraid of Cyborg. They're afraid. Hitomi Akano, Yoko Takashi, both were afraid when they stepped into the octagon against Cyborg. I could see the look on Yoko's face. That was that look of, I hope I get through this in one piece. Folks, you know you've seen that look before. But see, this was a different look. It was a look of fear. Fear gripped Takashi. It gripped her. And I can see her arms and they tensed. Everything tensed up on this girl. Because she was afraid. And she didn't know who she was really facing. See, they watched videotape. They watched it. And from the outside in, it looks like you could actually go in there and beat Cyborg. Yeah, she's beatable. But when they get in that octagon, these photographs that I put before you, they tell you a different story. They tell you why this girl can't get a top fight. Because you got a lot of managers. Okay? Cyborg is bad for business. And no manager of a fighter would want this done to their fighter. Nobody. There's no manager that would want this done. They don't want to lose their top fighter for 6 to 8 months. Because, see, when you get into a fight with Cris Cyborg, that's exactly what you're talking about. Or you might even get retired, like Gina Carano was. I mean, folks, think about it. And then you had Doan. I mean, look at the photograph of Doan. Look. Cyborg beat this girl almost 1 inch of her life. Jan Finney, she beat Jan Finney 1 inch of her life. She beat the hell out of Shayna Baszler. She decimated Charmaine Tweet. And so I ask you, there's one woman that's calling out Cyborg. One woman that will take the fight. Just one. And you guys all know who she is. I've talked about her twice now on this channel. She's taking that challenge. But I have to ask y'all. Will she be a member of the Cris Cyborg Wall of Destruction? Will she make it? This is the updated Wall of Destruction. Everybody that I can find, I put them on and to show you that when you step into the octagon against Cris Cyborg, you better not be afraid. You got to go in there and you got to take the fight to Cyborg if you're going to fight Cyborg. See, there's no time to second guess your skill set. There's no time. Because Cris Cyborg isn't going to give you time to second guess what you already know. You're in a fight. And so many women are terrified, glorified of this woman they call Cyborg. I'll tell you something right now. It's going to take an opponent with a chin, takedown defense, and heart that's going to stand in there and go toe-to-toe with Cyborg. That's what it's going to take. See, you can come in here and be all cute with your little technique, but you're going to get your ass whooped. No, you better come in an octagon, and if you are watching this video, any fighter, and you want to fight this woman, you better think long and hard. Because if you're going to be afraid, don't take the fight. Don't take this fight if you know that you're going to be afraid. Don't take it. But if you got heart to get in there and deal with this, if you got heart to risk getting on this wall of destruction, then I say to you, you take the fight to Cyborg. You take the fight to her. You see, the reason why there's so many of these women, they get beat up, because they don't have any heart. They don't have heart. They get hit with one punch, and that's it. They fall to pieces. It's going to take somebody with heart that's going to stand in, that's going to stand and not be afraid of the power of Cyborg. It's going to take an opponent. And it's going to take an opponent who don't care about life or death. That's who it's going to take. It's going to take an opponent who don't give a damn about anything but winning and the fight. And these opponents that Cyborg has faced, they've had one common opponent. And you know what that opponent is. You understand what the opponent is. That opponent is called false evidence against reality. It's called fear. Every last one of these opponents you see on this wall of destruction, they have one opponent. And that's the opponent that you can't beat. That's the opponent that you cannot beat if you don't think you're good enough. And that, my friends, it's just the way that is. You can't have fear when you step into the octagon. Because, see, fear and courage, they can't coexist on the same plane. I'm done. Subscribe.